Welcome to Crafting with the Craft Lady. I'm your host, Erica, also known as the Craft Lady. So today we're going to do a unique winter craft. It's going to be on a different type of canvas, and it's also going to have texture. It's really going to be exciting. So I'll start off by saying that I'm very excited that it is New Year's Eve of 2020, because I'm very much ready to get done with this year and ready to get on with the next year. Because this has been a horrible year, but we've made it through it as a nation, and hopefully next year will be better, at least a little bit. And I also want to say thank you to the frontline workers and to anybody working frontline, whether it be food service, gas stations, or whether it be healthcare workers in any healthcare setting or medical type setting. Thank you for all y'all's hard work. We couldn't have done it without y'all. So today we're going to start with this craft. So what you're going to need is some construction paper. So for the snowman, you're going to need an orange or yellow, some kind of orange or yellow construction paper for the nose. You're going to need some kind of color of construction paper for the scarf. I chose purple. And then you're going to need some black or brown or whatever color you want your hat to be. I'm choosing black construction paper. You're also going to need some copier paper to cut out the actual snowman. Now you can use cardstock or something that's harder or thicker, I should say, to hold up better, and that's fine too, but this works just as well, whatever you've got available. You're also going to need some either stick glue or the liquid glue. You're going to need a pen or pencil to take your shapes, unless you can cut a good circle without drawing it out. And then you're also going to need acrylic paint, black and white, or black and brown. Black tends to work better because snowman's mouth and eyes and buttons. And you also need paintbrushes. You need at least one fine point. The other doesn't really matter. And you're going to need scissors. You're also going to need some type of plastic canvas. So with the canvas, it's not expensive. If you have some thick plastic laying around the house, that'll work just fine. I prefer to have the see-through plastic, however I didn't have any thick enough to sturdy enough. So what I did was I bought some page dividers for binders, and I just cut the tab part off, and I cut the part where it is hole punch to fit in the binder. And you can use any kind you want. And also to kind of touch it up and make it look nice and neat and all, at the end, it might not hurt to have these things. These are optional though. Page protector, tape, ribbon, string, and a hole punch. Hole punch is to hang it. So, and you're also going to need baking powder. This is what's going to make it really unique. So, we're going to start out, I can still use purple, and we'll just pretend it's sunset. So the first thing you're going to do is cut out your shapes. So here I've shown how I cut out the shapes. It's pretty much a large, a medium, and a small, but this is what they look like when they're cut out. And if you've got pencil on one side, it's fine. You just tape down the side that has a pencil. Okay, so I'll just put those there for now. And then next we got to cut out our other shapes. Now I've already cut out the shapes, but I'll still show you how to cut them out. So here's our scarf, carrot nose, and hat. So with a scarf, the easiest way to do it is just to take a thick strip, about like that. And what you're going to want to do is cut it about like that. And then you're going to take and do it at an angle like that, so it creates like a V. And then you're going to make it a little thinner than you did the top, like that. And then you're going to make another V. And you're going to make about the thickness you did the other. And you're just going to finish out the cut from here. Now it can be long, and you can trim it down the size when you get to that point. And then also with the hat, here's a better one. So with the hat, what you're going to do is you're just going to take, and it's about the width of this one. You just take and cut that out there. And then you cut that same length on the width, I should say, on the other side. So you should have it like this. Well, you'll see better in a minute. And then just cutting sideways like a L shape. So we got an L. I'm going to cut however tall I want it. You could have it really tall and it'd be fun and be neat, or it could be really a short hat. Depends on your snowman style. So that's a top hat. It's just L's and all that stuff. And then the carrot, the easiest way to cut the carrot, cut some of this off to show you better. Oop, things are trying to run away. So to do the carrot, the easiest way is just to make a triangle. And you can go back and make a second one. All you have to do is cut another triangle using that one. And it creates that. So, got that situated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position the items on here. Let me move this so I can show you better. Oops, don't need that there. So with our snowman, that's about how I'm going to put them together. And I'll glue them in a little bit, but that's about how they look. Oops. And it'll look better when it's glued down. And the hat's going to go there. Well, it's straighter. And then the snowman nose. And I'll cut down the scarf more to size. So that's what we're going for. And your snowman can be funny. It can be like it's dancing, or it could be just plain, you know, resting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the biggest white thing, and remember, pencil side or marker, whatever you did to draw it out, if you drew it out with the glue side, so it hides it. Now I'll take the little one and put it on top of it like I showed you a minute ago, and put it on the next one. And then we are going to get to the paint. Once we get everything else glued down, take my little one and put on top of that. So I'll show you what it's so far. So far we've got this. And just the hat. Put on top of the snowman's head. And I'll have to trim the scarf down. So when I'm trimming, I'm just going to trim this part. And that's about right. And if you need to draw the scarf and the hat out before you cut it out, that's fine too. Just put the pencil side or pen side down on the glue side. And then if you have stencils, or if you have glasses or objects that are round that you could use for stencils for the different parts of the snowman's body, that would work as well. So you can get creative and find things around the house to make it with. So that's what I've got so far. And so next we're going to go crack open our paint. So with the paint, you just need a little black. It's not going to take much. And the white, you will need more of that. And I'm going to put that in the big part of it. This is just a paint holder. You can buy them at most places, craft stores, big stores, even dollar stores sometimes. Okay, so this is where you're going to take your fine point brush. And what you're going to do is put the eyes on the snowman underneath the hat above the carrot nose. So there's his eyes, because they're coal eyes. That's how traditional snowmen appear in women. Then we're going to do a smile, and I'm just going to take, and I'm going to try to do this well at this angle, but I'm going to take and dot the smile like that. I kind of messed up on that one spot, but anyway, flat, it works better flat, but I'm trying to show you. Okay, and then lastly, you're going to need 3 buttons. You just kind of put those in between the scarf, and there you go. So we have a cute snowman, but what's really unique or different besides it being on plastic? So what's going to be unique is we're going to take, and this is the part where kids can use their hands to paint. Now acrylic paint is pretty safe. They still may wash their hands afterwards, and baby wipes are great for keeping on hand if you get it on, if anybody gets it on them. Anyway, it's pretty good to use. Just make sure they don't get in their mouths, of course. With almost anything kid related, they can't have a lot of things in their mouths. But anyway, so you're going to take your white, and you're going to take your baking powder. You're going to paint the white, and you're going to put baking powder over it. So this is going to make a snow-like effect. Now, my advice is to have this ready to go. And the reason I have it in a salt shaker is so it goes out, disperses better. Because you can add like liquid glue after the fact to glue it down better, but it's easier just to do it with wet paint. But the acrylic dries kind of quickly, depending on how much you put. The more wet paint you put, the slower it'll take to dry. So, and I will just do sections at a time. I'll need more paint, I have a feeling. Okay, so I'll do the line first so you see what I'm doing. It's okay to get some on the snowman. So I paint it. Now I'm just going to pour some of this. You might want to have like a mat or something, trash bag under you, something to keep the mess down a little. So I paint it and I add a baking powder. And I'm just going to do that across here and on the bottom. You can do a hill, you can get creative. You don't have to do a snowman, you can do any type of thing. The main point of this craft is thinking outside the box when it comes to what you paint on and adding texture from unexpected sources. So we're going to do this. And you might want to not dip your brush back in the paint with the baking soda in there. I'm not sure what it would do to acrylic paint, but it probably would dry it out or something. But we're almost done with this. And again, this is probably going to be a little on the messy side, but it's really cute craft, and I believe it'd be worth it depending on your situation and all that stuff. And you don't have to actually use baking soda. You could just paint on plastic and it would look neat. I'll actually show you with the snowflakes, just the plastic, so you see what I'm talking about. And add a little heel so it looks, unique and not just a plain boring line. You're going to want to shake it afterwards, but this is what it looks like. And I missed a couple spots. Let's add a little more paint. And actually, it might be even easier just to pour paint on the plastic. It might just work better. Instead of constantly dipping back and forth. Okay, that's better. So there's the snowman. It looks like snow because of the baking powder. So what we're going to do next, oh, and I forgot something. I forgot to, on the black, when you're still using the black, it's best to go ahead and do the arms. So with the arms, I'm just taking and starting here, like that, which I'll do it better when I lay it flat, but you're just taking doing it like that. And brown, you can use brown paint for this or black, whichever. So there's our snowman's arm. So the fun part for the kiddos too is that you could take the white paint and they could use their fingerprints to paint. Now they can, with the baking soda or with the baking powder, they could use their fingers to paint that as well. Depends on how you want them to do it. But this part is really neat. And if you don't want to use your fingers and you're an adult and you want to do this, you can just take a regular paintbrush and add your snowflakes and get as detailed or not as you want. But for a kid who's doing this, you're just going to take fingerprints, their fingers, dip them in paint. Or if an adult wanted to dip their fingers in paint. And again, the paint is in smaller sections, and you'd have to be ready with a baking soda if you're going to put it on this part to make sure, or just add the liquid glue later to fix it. But anyway, but just to show you what it looks like with just the paint on plastic, I'm going to skip the baking soda this time, baking powder. Either one would probably work. And there you go. You have this craft. Now, because this is still wet, I'm not going to put it in anything because I don't want it to it needs to dry. But this is one that's already done. So all I did was I took a page protector and I put it in it, and that helps collect some of the baking powder so it's not as messy. And I could trim this too if I wanted to. And then I took and I taped over it with the clear tape. And then I took a hole punch and I punched it, and then I added a piece of ribbon. And so now I can hang this. Now, like I said, you can hang it, or you can do a landscape and hang it like this. You could leave the little, if you use tab dividers, you could leave the little hole punches on there, so you could hang it from that if you didn't